Okay, this is an interesting situation in our little randomly devised game. The reason that we're taking this time to show this is because it has some interesting nuances. When you randomly place troops on a game table, you get situations like this. So, in truth, what you have to do is you actually have to, well, use your best judgment when it comes to balance. And what we're seeing here is the initial turn. The troops have been placed. They were placed in the foot margins of the 4x4 board. So, essentially, you could have said, well, why are they facing this way? Why aren't they facing that way or that way? You know, what was the determination to have them face that way? And what was the determination for the Confederates as well to face this way? Well, essentially, I suppose you have to make it aware to both sides that they're right next to each other before anything gets placed. You have to say, okay, there's a Confederate unit on this quadrant, and there's a Union unit in this quadrant. So what do you want to do? Do you want to, get everybody on the road so they can immediately run away, or go somewhere else? And bear in mind, we haven't placed the units yet that are up there. You see them. The markers are out, but the units themselves are not. So what do you want to do? And I use the judgment that essentially what was going to happen is the player is going to deploy, and so the Confederate player is going to do the same thing. So you could say that, well, it was random. But the Confederates are attacking. They're obviously more numerous, which is odd. And the Union is going to try and do their best. And so that's where we leave it. So immediately there's simultaneous firing. The assumption is that they both moved there. They both were back here, and then they moved like this. So that they both moved, the guns are set down, and the guns are now firing. So we just measured the first band for this unit firing here, and it was automatic color code to that for range, but with an officer present, it goes back to color, which is blue. And so that allows us to find out there's no other modifiers, so blue is rolled, and it caused a hit. So put a red hit down on the unit. It's also interesting to note that there's an artillery unit placed in the forest. We're going to allow it because for whatever reason, perhaps the forest is not dense enough, the artillery battery was able to get to that position. And by the way, they are in fact light guns. So they're going to return fire after the infantry is done here. So again, automatic color into the forest, code because of the cover, and he's out of commander range. So it looks like it's just going to be a roll of red. All right, so interesting. I'm going to use the tablet to roll the dice. And he scored a hit. Now, mind you, the artillery hasn't fired yet, but they will. Okay, so this guy's going to fire as well somewhere here. So automatic color code. Automatic color code goes to the unit in the forest. Ganging up is not allowed at the same range band, so this unit cannot hit one of these. In some cases, however, there's not going to be a choice because you're going to have to, compare units. And in this particular case, we've essentially got 4 versus 3. So automatic color code in the forest, higher than or one more goes to automatic color code. Oh, it's code and color. There's no officer within range, so it looks like it's going to have to be a star for him to get a hit. And then we got to check the general too, by the way. General is within range. Interesting. Oh my god. They got lucky. They got a hit on that unit. I gotta check for the general kill 3 times, because he's within sphere of all 3 targets. Yikes. First roll. Nope. Second roll. Yeah. The general has been killed. Yikes. That is a problem. And this artillery didn't even fire yet. Well, it's going to fire now, and I guess it'll select the cannon on the outside of the forest. Or, yeah, that's not in the forest. So bands of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is automatic color to that range. So blue, it's canister. So it's going to be a double hit. These, I believe, might be light guns, though. So they're going to cause 2 red hits, but it's just out of the automatic canister hit range, which is to say that we are going to simply reduce it by a half hit. It's what we call an incremental hit. So it's actually going to cause, from the canister fire, 1.5 red. So we'll call it 1 red hit and a incremental hit. And it just so happens, do I have those incremental? Yes, I do. Wow, interesting. So turning this one over to a 2.5 on this artillery piece. And of course, they're going to come back with full canister, especially from this guy here. He's going to be 1 out. But I believe these are 4 12-pound howitzers. That is bad news. So firing back, he's going to actually pick the infantry. Automatic color, it's just, I'm sorry, it's an automatic range band there, but it's just 1 out. But in this case, these are not all 6-pounders. There's 6 guns in the battery. That's going to automatically cause an incremental hit increase. There are 4 in this particular battery 12-pound howitzers. That's going to cause an immediate 2 hits for canister, plus 1, because it is let's see, 4, it's 6-gun battery. We already did that, but it's just out. It would have been 3 hits from this. No, that's right, it wouldn't be 3, because there's only 4. This is where we need to know what these units are comprised of. There's 4 12-pound howitzers. At actual, in the first range band, it would have been 3 hits. Extremely deadly and horrible. But it's just 1 hex out. Hence the reason it's a hit and a half. So it's an it's an automatic 2 hits for, I didn't complete the explanation. It's an automatic 2 hits for canister, but just being outside, we diminish it. So it's actually 1.5. So if this becomes 1.5 with the half increase because of the 6-gun battery, it turns into 2 hits. So without even having to roll a die, that's an immediate gap creator of huge magnitude in that 59th Illinois. And the infantry fires automatic color code. Commander was there. So back to color, which is blue, no other modifiers. Firing at the artillery crews, missed. And this gun is going to fire automatic grape shot here. And it's a, is that a 6-gun battery? No, it's a 4-gun battery, but it's in full grape shot range. So that's going to be an immediate 2 hits on that unit right there. So pretty much giving is as good as they got, and that is not good. These 2 infantry units are badly chopped up, and no doubt on the next hit they are going to be routing. So with the death of the general, though, a completely at least of the 2 brigades that are here, losing 1 is not good. And so that's where we like to do these little demos and show you how that all happens. And again, this was an initial turn. Units are placed, immediately fire, and that's the result. Nobody's actually moved yet. So we'll just begin the next turn with movement, and I imagine rolling for initiative. So let's hope the Union gets it and can get out of there, because they are not going to survive it.